Let me tell you about the first time I ever got rejected by a girl. It is September 1999. I am 4 years old and I am nervous because I'm walking into my first ever class of pre-kindergarten. I scan across the room and look at all the faces of my fellow classmates, some of whom would become my best friends. Others would become my worst enemies, but only one would become my first crush. For all 5 years of primary school, that means pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, I did not tell a soul. Kept it close to my chest because instinctively, I just felt like, I don't know, I would get embarrassed if I told somebody. But one particular fateful spring morning, a thought crossed my mind. What if I told my best friend about my crush? What would he think? So I went up to him, I was like, psst, yo, Luke, what's up, Chaz? I got a secret to tell you. What is it? Promise you won't tell anybody? Yeah, I promise. You pinky promise? Yeah. I like Kira. I know. Okay, I won't tell anybody. Okay, cool. And that was that. And honestly, it felt really good to get it off my chest. So I was like, what if I told somebody else? So then I went and told my second best friend, Arjun. And after that, I felt really good again. I was like, dang, will it just keep feeling this good the more people I tell? And so I did. And everything was going fine until we got to science class. I was doing my whole thing, whispering, tapping somebody on the shoulder, letting them know, yo, I like Kira. And then I hear from across the room, I'm telling, no whispering in class. I was caught by the gremlin herself, Allie. Now, Allie, she was the one person this entire time that I knew I could not tell. She had a reputation for causing drama. Think like the bubbly mischievousness of Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab, mixed with the cold-heartedness of Mandy from Billy and Mandy. Or that one redheaded chick from Powerpuff Girls who always had an attitude and was just like fake nice, you know what I mean? That was like all three of those characters, all in one, that was her. So she comes over and she's like, if you don't tell me what you whispered, I'm gonna tell. In my head, I'm like, oh snap, she's right. If she tells the teacher that I was whispering, then I'm gonna have to tell in front of the class because I seen that in a TV show once. Like that's, you know, like this. Ultimately, I kind of folded, not gonna lie. I told her, okay, I'm gonna tell you, but only if you pinky promise. Because like a pinky promise is binding. You can't betray a pinky promise. So we pinky promised, but while we're holding this pinky, I say, you got a double pinky promise. So she was like, okay, I pinky promise. I promise I won't tell. I'm like, all right, cool. Then she must be telling the truth, right? I tell her the secret. And this chick goes, I'm telling. I wanted to, you know, I was like, what do you mean you're telling? We just pinky promised. We double pinky promised. And then she hits me with, well, if you don't tell her, I'm gonna tell her. Where does this come from? This manipulation. Are girls built like this? Like what is? So in my head, I decided I'm not gonna let Allie tell her and then have me out here looking like I'm sweet. If I like her, I'm gonna let her. I'm at least be the one to let her know. So she's like, all right, well, we're gonna do it at recess. Fine. I was trying to look tough on the outside, but I honestly wanted to cry. I was so mad, and I was so sad, and I was so scared, and I was so embarrassed, and all the above, you know what I mean? You betrayed my trust, Allie. So I proceeded to have the longest lunch break that I had had in my 8 or 9 years of living at that point, hoping that Allie would forget. She did not forget. We're walking outside for recess. She turns around, sees me hiding in the back of the line. She's like, nope, I see you. Come on, we gotta go. Off in the distance, I see Kira standing with one of her friends, and they're just talking on the asphalt, the warm spring asphalt. Such a beautiful day that day. Oh my gosh, but not for long. So I drag my feet walking up to her, Allie leading the way. And I find myself standing in front of Kira, her friend, and Allie. And Allie says, Kira, Chaz has something to tell you. And my heart sinks, bro. I was so scared. I didn't have the words for it. I just knew rejection was coming. I knew it. I had my head down, wasn't even making eye contact. And then I had this spark of a thought. This had never occurred to me before, but I was like, yo, wait a minute. What if she likes me back? And so I look up. I'm getting excited. So my chin is lifting until I make eye contact with her. And I'm like, I like you. And to my surprise, Kira looks at me and does this. 10 years before that was even a meme, she hit that pose. And then she proceeded to like whip her head around. She had this long ponytail, almost flipped me in my nose, and she just like sashayed away. Like she was disgusted. I look over at her friend, she's like, I look over at Allie, she's like, like she just, ugh, it was horrible. I was left there standing alone on a beautiful spring day that was about to be the best day of my year, but it became the worst. So I guess this is the part where I'm supposed to give like the moral of the story or something. I don't really have one, but if I had to choose one off the top of my head, I guess it would be mindful of who you share your closest, most vulnerable, secret information with. It's important to get stuff off your chest. It does feel very good, but not everybody can handle that with care. Rejection Chronicles Part 2 coming soon.